Hello, for almost 10 years now, for Burkina Faso and Mali, security has become a priority policy issue. How much are those countries spending in the security and defense sector? Welcome to this video. Welcome to the channel Tenga Facts. I'm Dr. Yusuf Ouattara. I'm a policy expert based in Burkina Faso. I'm here to provide you with data, information, and insight so that you can make your own mind on what is going on in Burkina and Mali. I'm also the author of the book Funding Counterterrorism in Burkina Faso, The Political Economy of a National Resilience. Welcome again. We are going to consider the fiscal year 2026 in order to compare the defense and security budget of Burkina Faso and Mali. But first, let's consider the whole budget of these countries. For 2026 in Mali, they are expecting to mobilize as much as 3,200 billion CFA. And the spending will be about 3,500 billion CFA. For Burkina Faso, the resources to be mobilized will amount to 3,500 billion CFA. For the spending, this will reach as much as 3,900 billion CFA. As you can see, there's a difference between the spending and the revenue. This is normal because there is a deficit. The deficit will be funded basically by balloons coming from bilateral and multilateral partners, by grants, and it can also come from the regional markets, the regional bond market, where this country can go and get loan from people. Now let's look at the budgets of security and defense sector, and let's consider first the case of Mali. For the Ministry of Defense, the allocation amount to 531 billion CFA, which represent about 14% of the whole budget for 2026. For the Ministry of Security, the allocation is 192 billion CFA, which represent about 10% of the budget. Now, when we combine these two ministries, the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Security, to get the security and defense sector, then we get as much as 727 billion CFA that will be allocated to this sector, which will represent about 24% of the budget. What's the case of Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso has allocated for the year 2026 707 billion CFA to the security and defense sector combined, which represent 24%. So as you can see, these two countries are at almost the same level in terms of allocation of resources to the defense and security sector. But let's look at the allocation of the previous year, the year 2025. Mali allocated as much as 1,030 billion CFA to the security sector, which represented about 31% of the whole budget. For Burkina Faso, this was almost 760 billion CFA that was allocated to the security and defense sector. It represented 27.7% of the whole budget. But for the case of Burkina Faso, we have to take into consideration the situation of the volunteers. They are not paid on the budget. They are not paid on the security or defense budget. They are paid from a special fund that's called the Fond de Soutien Patriotique, the Patriotic Support Fund, which are resources mobilized through taxation and voluntary contributions that are brought together to frame this fund. For 2025, the country mobilized as much as 212 billion CFA. So this amount will be used to bear the spending, to support the spending of 2026 for the volunteers. The volunteers get as much as 80,000 CFA monthly, and we also pay for the equipment for them in order to operate. So when you take into account this fund and then the budget, it's like Burkina is going to spend as much as 900 billion CFA in the security sector, far above what Mali is going to invest. So those are the information I want you to share with you. I hope you like those information. Thank you for watching. Like the video, share it for other people to get this insight on Burkina and Mali. Thank you for watching.